Nothing, I could just repeat this 20 million times, nothing in this entire world, no person, no relationship, no successes, no amount of money or anything can determine your worth and how important you are. God knows how important you are. You are so incredibly important. Hello my beautiful family, welcome back to my channel. I hope you had a great Sunday and I'm super excited to share with you yet again another must-read book that has to do with character building and strengthening your relationship with God, so we'll get right into that. Quick little announcement, as some of you guys may know, I'm trying to release some merch and I will have some scriptural, gospel related merch that I'll be releasing soon. This week I will be showing you guys kind of what the design will look like so I can get your opinion on what you want that to look like, because you guys' opinion is very important to me when it comes to that. But that will happen later this week, maybe Monday, maybe tomorrow, but we'll see. But the book I want to share with you guys that I'm absolutely loving is Untangled by Carey. Let God loosen the knots of insecurity in your life. It has a lot to do with the insecurities that we all tend to carry around with us, and she uses the metaphor as your insecurities and things you struggle with as a tangled knot. We all know it is extremely hard to untangle something, and she uses it as a metaphor in finding and getting to that point where you can let God and help God help you untangle those messes that we have in our life and live like a stress-free, untangled life. Once again, like the last book I mentioned, it's super great because she shares her personal story, which I think is always great. When you're reading books like these, you're able to connect with the author and relate to them on kind of like a personal level, so then you're more likely to want to keep reading. Particularly focused on the feeling that you aren't enough and tying your worth to things of this world, your productivity, your successes, and things like that. And she goes on to say, I didn't understand how intentional God was and how He created me. I wasn't a rush job. He wasn't in a bad mood when He thought me up. I wasn't a cosmic collision or an accident. No, God created me on purpose. My quirks, my talents, my body, my challenges, my passion, my everything. He knew about the abuse and about all the bad decisions I've made, and He used them to train me. How do we learn to battle unless we're in one? There weren't any deal breakers. I wasn't too messy. He decided I'd enter the world and where I would live. He chose my family. He determined my kingdom calling, and according to Psalms 139:16, the days of my life were all prepared before I'd even lived one day. The Creator knows me, planned me, and made me, and that makes me valuable, period. That makes you valuable, period. God does not make a mistake. He did not make a mistake when He created you. You are absolutely here for a purpose, and nothing, I could just repeat this 20 million times, nothing in this entire world, no person, no relationship, no successes, no amount of money or anything can determine your worth and how important you are. God knows how important you are. You are so incredibly important. So looking to those things, and I've been struggling with this lately, finding who I am and my security and my self-worth in others and in relationships, and thinking I'm not enough for someone, thinking I'm too much for someone is bad. Like, I'm working so hard to look to God, to find my worth, to find peace in myself, and to read this was so cool. Like, you are valuable, period. The Creator knows you. God knows you. He planned you. And He made you, and that makes you valuable, period. So I feel like I'm probably going to reread this paragraph over and over, because every little part of you, the things that you feel like aren't as good as other people's, the things you think don't fit in, are what God created you to be, and He planned your quirks, your talents, everything that you are. That's why it's so cool how we're all so different. Thing is, evil things, the devil will plant doubt on your heart about how God feels for you, and how God feels for you can never change. All that self-talk you hear, all that negative self-talk you hear all the time when you go to the mirror and you're just rattling off all these terrible things about yourself, when you're constantly thinking you're not enough, all that negative buildup in your mind, that is not God talking to you. That is, God would never say anything like that to you. That's why when you feel that way, you have to dive into the Bible. You have to start praying, knowing that God is good and He would never say these terrible things to you. And God always sees you, no matter how unvaluable you think you are, and that you feel like you don't fit in anywhere, that you feel that no one ever sees you in any situation. God always sees you and He's always there for you. This is your period of growth, self-growth. You have so much peace ahead of you. Just find God, run after God as hard as you can, and find in Him the confidence to love yourself and be confident with who you are. One thing about this book, though, is it's more catered to girls and women, but I do think that a boy could read this and get something out of it. And one little cool thing is she uses women of the Bible, and even men, Moses, to talk about insecurities, and shows how people back then had insecurities, and relates it to life today, which is pretty neat. But anyway, wow, I got passionate about that subject real quick. But yeah, I'm sure you can find this at the library. The past 2 books I've read have been at the library, so I'm sure you can find them. But once again, it's Untangled by Carey. It's super good so far. I really hope this video helped you in some way, and I'm so glad you were here and that I got to see you on this fine Sunday. And yeah, look out for that merch post. I want to know your opinions. And as always, I will see all of your beautiful faces on Wednesday. Bye.